The war is not over. The victory is not won. We will fight to the finish. Then when it's all done, we'll cry glory. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours.
My name is Judy Gatson. I'm an anchor with WIS Television, and I am delighted this afternoon to be here with Mr. Brandon Taylor, news anchor for WLTX. We are honored, deeply honored to be your MCs here this afternoon and to be a part of this truly remarkable and meaningful event.
Thank you, Judy, and I'm equally delighted to see so many people from our community joining us for this live streaming event to support the Columbia Urban League and its mission to empower communities and change lives. It is amazing how this event brings together such a large, diverse group of caring people from various sectors of our communities.
It truly is. I agree, Brandon. And today we come together to officially commemorate and to celebrate the Columbia Urban League's virtual 53rd annual fund campaign and Equal Opportunity Day event, of course, known to many of us as the EOD. This annual fund campaign is essential to the Urban League's operating budget as they empower disadvantaged and underserved communities in becoming productive and contributing members of society. Also during this event, it is a tradition for the Columbia Urban League to present its annual report. Obviously, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, copies this year will be available upon request. We hope that, though, you will take the time to take a look at that annual report. It provides an overview of the critical services offered by the Columbia Urban League in offering a healthier community for everyone who lives here in South Carolina. We hope that you will take the time to visit the Columbia Urban League website. That web address is culc.org, and you can read there about the Urban League's impact in improving the quality of life for others. To Dr. Kenneth Campbell, editor of the annual report, Regina LeBrew, Cheryl Humphreys, also Juanita Dean Bates, and the entire staff of the Columbian Urban League, we thank you for compiling the impact stories that you'll view in the annual report this year. We also thank you for your dedication and hard work on behalf of the Columbia Urban League each and every day. And speaking of social media, the hashtag for this afternoon is social justice. We are inviting you to use that hashtag as you tweet and post on social media about today's special event. Our theme for this year, advancing social justice, equity, and inclusion. Columbia Urban League President and CEO J.T. McLaughlin said, quote, advancing social justice today requires a serious examination of the role implicit bias race plays in the unjust treatment of African Americans and others. This afternoon, we are delighted to recognize and salute some extraordinary servant leaders who have truly been change agents for our community's good. It is through this spirit of partnership and respect for all citizens that we build healthy and prosperous communities.
Please join me in welcoming the Columbia Urban League Board Chair, Mr. Alan Williams Jr., Senior Marketing General Manager, Carolina Market for PepsiCo Beverages, and he's going to bring our welcome and purpose for this afternoon's event.
The Columbia Urban League has worked diligently for over 50 years in our communities to enable African American and other underserved communities to secure self-reliance with a primary focus on education, employment, and economic development. This year's campaign focuses on advancing social justice, equity, and inclusion, reaffirms the need for equality in our communities so that a vibrant, growth-oriented, and stable society is enjoyed by all.
It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce Bishop L. Jonathan Holston, a resident bishop here in South Carolina of the Conference of the United Methodist Church.
Good evening. On behalf of the clergy and laity of the United Methodist Churches across South Carolina, I bring you greetings. It is an honor to gather virtually with you this evening in support of the Columbia Urban League. The Urban League's faithful commitment to advancing social justice, equity, and inclusion throughout the Columbia community reflects the promise found in the prophet Jeremiah's letter to God's people in exile. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Now let us with confidence draw near to the throne of mercy and grace. I invite you to join with me in prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, in whom we live and move and have our being. You created each of us in your image, and our hearts are restless until they find rest in you. Grant to us such purity of heart and strength of purpose that no selfish passion may hinder us from knowing your will and no weakness from fulfilling it. Guide us to use all that we have available to advance your kingdom here in Columbia, South Carolina, and throughout the world. In your light may we see life clearly, and in your service may we find perfect freedom. To God be the glory, to Christ be the glory, and may the Holy Spirit dwell in us now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now we will have greetings from the Honorable Stephen K. Benjamin, Mayor of the City of Columbia.
Hi, I'm Columbia Mayor Steve Benjamin, thanking you for joining us for this 53rd Annual Columbia Urban League Equal Opportunity Day banquet. Obviously, this format's different than the way in which we're used to engaging with each other, the opportunities we have during this seminal event. This is, I believe, the most significant event that Columbia has every year, brings together every aspect of the community. People of all backgrounds have a chance to fellowship and relish the idea of America living up to her true promise. I hope and pray that in 2021 we get a chance to do this and do it the way we're used to doing it. The importance of the Columbia Urban League to helping establish and maintain the fabric of this community for the last half a century cannot be overstated. And we firmly believe that as we work our way through the most challenging time that many of us have ever seen, the greatest pandemic since 1918, the greatest economic disruption in an election year since 1932 or 1876, depending on which historian you speak to, and the greatest social unrest around structural racism and systemic racism since 1968, all wrapped up into this amazingly challenging year. It only speaks to the importance and value of our efforts to work together, the public sector, the private sector, and our amazing nonprofit partners and leaders, national leaders like the Urban League. So thank you, and I bring you welcome and love from the people of Columbia, and look forward to being with you during this event as we fellowship, and certainly once again in the same room with the Columbia Urban League next year. May God bless you and keep you.
We thank you, Mayor Benjamin, for your outstanding leadership and service to the citizens here in Columbia. At this time, we will have greetings from Richland County Council Chair, the Honorable Paul Livingston.
Good afternoon. It is indeed an absolute genuine pleasure and honor for me to bring greetings on behalf of Richland County Council and all the citizens that we represent in our great county. And let me start by thanking Mr. J.T. McLaughlin and the Urban League family for their tremendous support and contribution to our community. You know, as we're all aware, this is a very challenging time. And I cannot tell you the value of the Columbia Urban League at this very challenging time, helping us to meet the needs of our community through its outreach programs. Ms. McLaughlin, you are to be commended. You know, although there are many challenging times, I think, when we look at that theme of this event, that idea of talking about social justice, equity, and inclusion, that is what this time is really about. And that is what the Urban League is really working toward at this given time. You know, I'm aware that county government and all governments have a role to play in this very, very important initiative and theme. And we on Richland County Council are committed to doing our part. That's because we understand that it's going to take a family to make this happen. I'm very fortunate to represent a very diverse district. And what's unique about that very diverse district is I think the citizens understand the importance of inclusion and working together and aiming for the same goals for all of our children and grandchildren. Let me conclude by saying I emphatically look forward to the 2021 year. I think we can look forward to great things for our community. I think we're all committed and ready to move forward to meet those tremendous challenges ahead of us. There's no question about that. We know there are challenges, but we know inclusion, working together, is going to make that difference and make it easier for our community. So I'm looking forward to this coming year.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston, for all you do for the citizens of Richland County and the county's recent announcement that Mark Anthony Brewing is building a $400 million plant here in Richland County, employing some 300 persons. Pretty big news there. Now we will have greetings from Dr. Rosalind Artis, 14th and first female president of Benedict College.
Good afternoon. I bring you greetings on behalf of the trustees, staff, faculty, and students of Benedict College, the HBCU that put the BC in HBCU. Congratulations to the Columbia Urban League on its 53rd annual Equal Opportunity Day dinner. Congratulations to all of the honorees and laborers who continue to ensure an equitable future for everyone.
At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Bruce Hughes to join us up front. He is the chair of this year's EOD and president of the Solarian Group for Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina.
On behalf of the Columbia Urban League Board, staff, and volunteers, thank you all for your support. Your support of this campaign is essential for the operations of the Columbia Urban League. It is now my pleasure to recognize the 2020 Columbia Urban League title sponsors. They are Absolute Total Care, Ag First Farm Credit Bank, BB&T/SunTrust, which is now Truist Bank, the Boeing Company, Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina, Dominion Energy, Nephron Pharmaceuticals, Prisma Health, PepsiCo Beverages North America, and South State Bank. We are extremely grateful for your support.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're so glad to see you. And I also want to recognize some of the Urban League staff members, really all of the Urban League staff members, because they have done a fantastic job. I always think about the Urban League staff as I reflect on a biblical reference to a prophet by the name of Gideon in the Bible. He only had a very few people, but they worked and they achieved like a mighty army. And that's what the Urban League staff does. It's not a lot of us, but those that we have here have done a fantastic job. So join me as I salute the Urban League staff. Thank you so very much for your dedication and your service. Also, I'd like to recognize our board members. Our board members bring a lot of resources to the organization, and also they fight for this organization. And we're very pleased for their support and their willingness to serve on the Urban League board. And then we have volunteers. We have the Urban League Guild, and we have the Urban League Young Professionals, along with other volunteers, tutors, mentors. So it really takes a family to be able to empower communities and change lives. Because as you know, the Urban League is keenly focused on helping underserved and disadvantaged population to acquire the skills so they can become productive and contributing members of society.
Our thanks to Mr. J.T. McLawhorn for his dynamic and powerful and purposeful leadership of the Columbia Urban League. At this time, we would like to recognize our co-sponsors for this year's important event, starting with AT&T and Verizon. We would also like to recognize our Millennial Eagle sponsors, Aflac, Burr Foreman McNair Law Firm, PA, Dr. Gail M. Morrison, Nelson Mullins Riley and Scarborough, LLP, Enterprise Holdings, Honda of South Carolina, Wells Fargo, WIS-TV, and WLTX-TV. Next, we'll recognize our Urban League partnership sponsors. Our thanks to Colonial Life, First Citizens Bank, Food Lion, Michelin North America Incorporated, and last but certainly not least, our platinum sponsors, Langley Organization, Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits of South Carolina, and the State Media Company. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
From sunrise to sunset, the new Honda Talon 1000s offer performance and fun for up to 4 passengers. Make that sunrise to sunrise. This is the side-by-side your family has been waiting for. More proof than ever that life is better side by side.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Urban League and JT and his entire team on the wonderful work that they've been doing in this community for many, many years. I've been in Columbia for over 20 years now, and I've had a great relationship with JT and the Urban League. And we're just proud to partner with such a wonderful organization that really is inspiring and building better lives in communities. They're doing it through social justice, through equality, and through inclusiveness, and those are themes that are very important to BB&T, SunTrust, now Truist also. And so we couldn't be more proud to have a partnership and to invest in the great work that the Columbia Urban League is doing.
Hi, I'm Ms. Vara Wilson, Chief Administrative Officer and Executive Vice President at AgFirst Farm Credit Bank. AgFirst is proud to partner with the Columbia Urban League in its work to advance social justice, equity, and inclusion. As a cooperative bank, we believe in the principle of mutual association toward a common goal. As members of the Columbia community, we believe that we will not reach our full potential until every member of the community has the tools to succeed. The mission of the Urban League to empower communities and change lives has never been more important than it is today. Our goal at AgFirst is always to use our resources to impact more. And that's why we're excited to partner with the Columbia Urban League to not only imagine, but create a world where underserved communities can achieve social justice, economic self-reliance, power, and civil rights.
Before we see our next video, we want to give special thanks to Rich Odell, Lyle Schultz, along with Courtney King, Mary Soto, Rob Green, Kirby Formidoval, Jim Hayes, Hugh Jacobs, and the WLTX and WIS family for producing the high-quality videos that we have seen this afternoon. I also would like to thank Regina LeBrew and the other Columbia Urban League staffers whose effort made all of this possible. The Anthony and Alice Hurley Award is named in recognition of the late Mr. Anthony and Mrs. Alice Hurley, charter board members who led the effort in establishing the Columbia Urban League. Mrs. Hurley is a retired school social worker, and Mr. Hurley was a businessman. The award is being presented to Mr. Dave Solano for compassionate leadership and support of the Columbia Urban League as a member of its board of directors.
The Columbia Urban League's core mission is very important to me and my organization. We know we are a much stronger community when there is equal opportunity and access for everyone to participate. As a community, state, and nation, we have made progress, but there is still much work to be done to achieve full participation. And this is why I provide my time and treasure to the Columbia Urban League, as they do outstanding work empowering individuals in the community and fighting for social justice, equity, and inclusion. At Enterprise Holdings, having a diverse and inclusive workplace affects every aspect of our business. Hiring and retaining the best talent, providing superior customer service, interacting with vendors, and attracting new business. Our focus on an inclusive culture allows all employees to bring their best selves to work every day and share their passions, talents, and ideas. A diverse supply chain allows our company to foster growth and opportunities while mirroring the communities in which we operate. And I want to thank everyone watching for their support of the Columbia Urban League. Your support makes a huge difference. Please continue to stay involved by supporting with your time and donations. Together, let's grow the social justice, equity, and inclusion community by inviting more of your friends and colleagues to join the Columbia Urban League's efforts.
Virgil C. Summer Corporate Citizens Award, presented by Dominion Energy, is named in recognition of the late Mr. Virgil C. Summer, former Columbia Urban League board member and past chairman and CEO of SCANA. This award recognizes the achievement of individual or businesses for promoting corporate social responsibility. This award is being presented to Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina for their extraordinary corporate social responsibility and providing critical resources to historically black colleges and universities in South Carolina during the COVID-19 pandemic.
These three tenets, social justice, equity, inclusion, are important because they are really the foundation. This is a journey that we're on. Blue Cross is getting ready to celebrate our 75th anniversary of being here and serving the citizens of South Carolina. We've been a steadfast supporter of the community, supporting everything from food scarcity issues, from supporting through our Blue Cross Foundation, looking at supporting health disparities, and then most recently our support for the HBCUs across the state. Communities thrive when everybody is uplifted. For 20 plus years, Blue Cross has been supporting and also collaborating with the Columbia Urban League. On behalf of the leadership of Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina and all of its employees, we are proud to be a recipient of the Virgil C. Summers Corporate Award.
Whitney M. Young Jr. Award is named in recognition of the legendary civil rights activist and past president and CEO of the National Urban League, the late Mr. Whitney M. Young Jr., a civil rights icon who was one of the leaders instrumental in mobilizing President Johnson and the U.S. Congress in passing the 1964 Civil Rights Act. This award is being presented to Dr. Linda Bell for her leadership and service in providing daily scientific briefings on the COVID-19 pandemic's impact, including its disproportionate effect on African Americans and other minorities.
Social justice, equity, and inclusion are important to me just because of the basic tenet of justice. This country was established to be fair to everyone, and in the times when justice is not necessarily available to everyone, it's important to me to be in a position when we're aware of injustice, particularly when it's related to public health and diseases. Well, my organization, the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, is responsible for assuring public health. We recognize that in public health, not everyone has the same access to health care, to living in a safe environment, and that there are so many determinants that affect our health. And there are populations that are disproportionately affected by adverse effects when public health doesn't do its job. To help the Columbia Urban League to address social inequities and inclusion, one of the things that we recognize in public health is that it takes an entire community, that it takes all sorts of partnerships, all sorts of representatives of different population groups to be recognized with an award in his name, who was such a champion for social justice and my lifelong interest in public health. There are some similarities in just wanting to have a fair and just community. And I was overwhelmed when I learned that I was being given this honor, particularly given who it's named after and the organization that's presenting it. It's a tremendous honor.
The President's Award is named in recognition of Mr. James T. McLawhorn Jr., President and CEO of the Columbia Urban League Incorporated, for his outstanding and servant leadership as President and CEO of the Columbia Urban League. This award is being presented to Dominion Energy for its outstanding leadership in providing needed support and advancing social justice, equity, and inclusion in support of the Columbia Urban League Incorporated. This award is also being presented to South State Bank for its outstanding leadership and support for advancing social justice, equity, and inclusion in support of the Columbia Urban League Incorporated Gateway Empowerment Center.
Hello, I'm Rodney Blevins. On behalf of Dominion Energy, I want to share how proud we are to be the title sponsors of the Columbia Urban League's virtual Equal Opportunity Day dinner. Dominion Energy and the Urban League share a mission of forging stronger communities by tearing down barriers and building up people through diversity, inclusion, social justice, equity, and education. The Urban League sets an outstanding example of selfless service, from supporting young people in foster care and preparing disadvantaged students for college, to providing dementia education for families and Christmas food baskets to those who are struggling. Dominion Energy also believes in supporting our communities. This year, we committed $5 million to support social justice and community rebuilding. We pledged $25 million to historically black colleges and universities, including 4 here in South Carolina, and another $10 million to scholarships for African American and other underrepresented minority students. We're also focused on the diversity in our workforce. Since 2013, Dominion Energy has increased its diverse hiring rate by 18 percentage points, and we are committed to further progress. Forbes has named us one of America's best employers for diversity. Only by fostering diversity and equity can we ever hope to promote unity, the kind of unity that defines what it means to live in a community. The Urban League will always be able to count on Dominion Energy as a community partner, standing shoulder to shoulder with you and supporting the work you do. Dominion and the Columbia Urban League welcome you to 2020's virtual dinner. We're proud to be here with you. Thank you.
South State Bank is honored to receive the President's Award for Social Justice. For over 50 years, the Columbia Urban League has worked to lift up communities with tools and resources to help those in need achieve long-term success. We appreciate the Columbia Urban League's impact in the Midlands and the opportunities the League provides for so many of our neighbors and community members. We also especially want to thank JT McLawhorn. His unwavering support for our community is unprecedented. JT's impact in our community is significant, and we appreciate his significant impact to those around us. Thank you again for this award. It is indeed our pleasure and our honor to accept it on behalf of South State Bank. Thank you.
Stephen G. Morrison Nelson Mullins Social Justice Award is named in recognition of the late attorney Stephen G. Morrison, past Columbia Urban League board chair and Nelson Mullins' partner, who successfully led the legal team in fighting for equity and funding disadvantaged and rural school districts in South Carolina. This award is being presented to Mrs. Molly Spearman for her outstanding leadership and sincere commitment to educating all children in South Carolina, including most recently your response to the needs of all children academically impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Social justice and making sure that every child in South Carolina receives the best education and is treated fairly and equitably was one of the major reasons I ran for State Superintendent of Education. And shortly after I was elected in January of 2015, we started one of our first opportunities was to review all the student discipline codes and how children were treated in schools with disciplinary action. So we reviewed all of that, made major changes. We're first looking in at ourselves to see, are there things that we need to do at the Department of Education with our hiring practices, with our policies. Then we're reviewing all of the curriculum that we teach in our state to be sure that it is accurate and that our teachers are well trained in how to teach it. And finally, then moving out to work with our own principals and teachers to make sure that they have the training during their undergraduate programs and any professional development that we do to make sure that they understand anti-racism issues and that they teach and are fair and understand how to include everyone. We need always to be working very closely together, understanding our policies. There are things that I'm trying to do as state superintendent to correct issues that have been there for a long time, and one of those is consolidating small school districts. As I look at that and really try to make progress in school districts, I know that you're almost wasting your time unless you get the governance structure correct. And we have so many small districts with students population under 1,000. Those attendance lines and district lines were set up back during 1966 desegregation days, and I'm trying to correct that. And unbelievably, it's moving. And we currently have 8 districts that are consolidating. And the support of the Urban League in those type of initiatives that are very emotional, intense, is tremendous and brings a great deal of credibility to what we're trying to do. So working very, very closely together, I think, is important for us as citizens of South Carolina.
The Ethel M. Bolden Community Service Award is named in recognition of the late Mrs. Ethel M. Bolden, a pioneer librarian in Richland County who dedicated her life to improving the quality of life for others. This award is being presented to Ms. Smiley Tynes and retired chaplain Edward Kelly for their many years of compassionate leadership and service in providing food security and other lifeline aid to those families in need.
As a young African-American female growing up, it was important for me to be able to see who I could become, who my leaders were, where my place is in the world. And that's what's so important about the Columbia Urban League. It helps make those paths possible for so many young people. And under Mr. McLaughlin's leadership, we have been able to do a great deal to help others.
Once I got working with it, and gradually people set it out, and I had connections with people, so we were able to get gifts given to us, and then I got other things into other projects, and somebody had to take over, and then I came back, and we just look for people who need help. That's the only thing to us, and if we can't find it, we find somebody who can help.
To all of our honorees, congratulations.
This afternoon we have a great group of people. We call them essential workers who are unsung heroes. Someone asked the question, what is a hero? A hero is someone that is not selfish. It is someone that put others ahead of him or herself. It reminds me somewhat of the Good Samaritan, someone that has courage and has a moral fabric, a moral compass that's really committed to uplifting people. So these young men and women that we're going to recognize today have given themselves for others. This pandemic has really been devastating in so many different ways. And sometimes we forget about those persons who are at the grocery stores, those persons who are delivering products, those persons who are always there on the front line, making a difference in our lives. And I'm very grateful for them because the pandemic itself is enough to disorient you. The pandemic is devastating in many ways. So when you got heroes there who are stabilizing things for you, who are providing support, it makes a big difference. So I'd like for you to join me this afternoon as we salute these men and women who are frontline employees, who are essential workers, and who are unsung heroes. As we present the unsung heroes this afternoon, it reminds me of a book by Dr. Robert Schuller, Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough People Do. And so our unsung heroes are tough people. They're around to make a difference in our lives. Thank you so much, unsung heroes.
The Columbia Urban League's 2020 President's Unsung Hero Award is presented to individuals or groups who show selfless leadership and kindness during the time of an international pandemic and civil unrest. This year's awards are presented to Satara Lopez.
I look forward to seeing the same smiles because once you drive the same route every day, they become family. I have days where you're like, oh, I just need that little boost. I get that first passenger and I'm set. I look forward to the little happy faces that say, thank you, bus driver. I look forward to, you know, the hugs. I still get hugs, even though we're not supposed to. I still get hugs. I give hugs. I give them a little pound, let them know I'm still Lopez. And through it all, we're going to get through it. To maintain the safety of our workplace, personally, you have to be prepared. The job offers the masks, the wipes, the sanitizer, pretty much, you know, everything they can. Me, myself, I bring my Lysol, I bring my own gloves, I bring my own mask, I bring my own wipes, you know, whatever it takes to get me through my day, to make sure everything in my area is clean. I wipe it all down before I start my day.
Kimberly Reynolds, Publix.
We really are truly honored and humbled to receive this award and to be included among the other recipients. We have a long-standing partnership with the Urban League across our operating areas and value that partnership we have with the Columbia Urban League to further advance its mission. At Publix, it's really about supporting our communities, our associates, and our customers, and we believe that together we're better. So this is truly an honor. You know, and as a result of the pandemic, we have implemented several safety and sanitation measures in our stores. And so to name a few of those, they include installing plexiglass at our registers and our pharmacies, encouraging social distancing through in-store signage, markers on the floors at our registers, and making public announcements over our intercom. Also, we've increased our sanitation that we're doing in-store. We've reduced store hours so that we can clean more often and so that we can restock our shelves. And we've also implemented quarantine and paid leave for our associates up to 14 days. Any associate who has tested positive for the virus or has been in close contact with an associate who has is eligible for that.
Ma Helena Tupas, Prisma Health.
On behalf of Prisma Health, it is my honor also to receive this award in behalf of the team. It is an evaluation for the best things there is that Prisma Health can offer to everyone. And I am proud to be working with Prisma Health. It takes this whole team to take care of this. We take care of our patients, we take care of their needs, and at the same time, we also take care of their families. Nursing also decided to make sure that the nurses are well prepared to take care of these patients. We were taught how to do PPE, the doffing and the donning of it. We also had to make sure that we have reading materials in case they want to review and make sure that they have not forgotten anything. They have set it up where when the nurses go in or the patient care techs go into the room, we have someone we call as the site manager to make sure that everybody does everything appropriately.
Arthur Edge, Lexington Medical Center.
It's an honor to me to accept this President Award. It's an honor because I did it for the love, and it's an honor to have it. And I can't say nothing no more than I appreciate everything y'all did for me. And when I come to work in the morning at Lexington Medical Center, I changed into the Lexington Medical Center uniforms. And I I get my 360 machine, and I start out in the emergency room department. First department I go to is the front, in the lobby. I make sure I spray all the chairs, all the bathrooms. And in the second department, I go all through the rooms, I spray it, the 360. Clorox, make sure everybody's safe, and as a patient come in the room, as they leave, I go back and spray that. And that's every day, a big part of the day. Then at the end of the day, if I get called for another section, I go to like we have a lot of people going in and out of Lexington Medical Center. And so I try to go spray the most way the traffic at. They have a lot of traffic, I go spray, and I try to keep the people safe all day. And I enjoy doing it. I love my job.
Derek Turner, Food Lion.
Well, anytime you get recognized for an award, it's an honor, so I'm beyond grateful of the Urban League for recognizing myself. Me and my staff have worked extremely hard this year, and we're going to continue to move forward. really staying engaged with all the teammates and also customers, listening to their concerns and needs, which is very important during this COVID-19 time. Food Lion has offered strict guidelines during the COVID-19 process to keep everyone who's working, also shopping at the store, very safe during this time. And daily, I'm just constantly communicating, the proper wearing of the PPE and also really social distance. I can't talk about that enough on how very important that is.
Brian Summers, Enterprise Car Sales.
To be able to receive this award, I'm humbled, I'm blessed. I appreciate Dave Solano for giving me this opportunity. I truly enjoy working with Enterprise. I love working with the team. We can have some hard-working service agents, and to be able to accept this award means a lot to me. And I can't thank them enough. Enterprise is the best. One of the things that I did to maintain the safety of the workplace at Enterprise was making sure the area was kept clean. If we didn't have the supplies that we needed, I would be quick to inform my manager. Also, if there's a new service agent, I would make sure that he or she is cleaning the cars the way it should be, and make sure we wear our face masks with COVID around.
Demario Simmons, United States Postal Service.
To be awarded the award of unsung heroism, it means, well, first of all, I'd like to thank all of those who had a hand in nominating me for this wonderful recognition. And it means a lot to me and also to the organization, because I believe like myself and all my other postal employees, along with all the essential workers, that we believe that we are the lifelines to our customers for all across the country. To maintain the safety of the workplace when the pandemic began, the Postal Service had us following the CDC guidelines, washing our hands, maintaining our social distance to protect ourselves, and not only ourselves, our customers. And throughout the facility, most of the time on Saturdays when the facility is shutting down, I would go through with the antibacterial wipes and wipe down the door handles, because we come in back and forth. And just wanted to protect myself and also my coworkers.
Kendrick Mitchell, Walmart.
It's a great honor to receive this award. It's very motivational. It makes me strive for excellence and to make sure that I bring others to this standard. Every morning we hold a safety meeting to ensure that we're following safety guidelines. Each associate has to go to a temp table. That's really the health table. We get our temperature taken. We make sure that each associate has on their mask at all times, as well as customers when they walk through the door. We make sure that gloves, alcohol wipes, and masks are at everybody's disposal.
Terry Rivers, UPS.
Well, first of all, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. We've got over, in my location alone, we've probably got over 200 different drivers. So I'm one of 200 drivers. So it's very humbling to me to even be considered, to be honest with you. The hero part I don't really see because it's something I do every day, and I enjoy doing it. I wear a mask, and UPS has done a really good job providing us with masks and hand sanitizer and gloves. So I always wear masks when I come in the building because it's required, because we're around other employees. I also keep hand sanitizer on me, so I always have hand sanitizer on me at all times. The other thing that I do is I make sure that if I have to make contact with a customer, I'm in a residential area, which I deal with a lot of residential houses, which means I'm going to the house, putting the package on the porch or whatever, in most cases. But there are rare occasions where I have to come face-to-face in contact with a customer to hand them a package that's signature required. So in those instances, I always make sure I wear my mask and pull my mask up to protect that customer. So those are three things that I do personally that helps with the COVID-19 virus.
Charles Evans, PepsiCo Beverages, North America.
I am a frontline worker. My job is very important to a lot of people. So what I do to maintain its safety is I consistently wear face masks, I wash my hands thoroughly throughout the day, and I social distance myself from others. By me doing that, I'm maintaining the safety for myself, for my family, and for others. To be nominated for the President's Unsung Hero Award is a great accomplishment, Some of the things that they do for our community, as far as diversity and inclusion, is a great opportunity. And to be a part of that, I am very grateful.
Well, as Mr. McLaughlin said, these are some of the unsung heroes who help stabilize our community at this incredibly difficult time, to help us protect our families and to keep our businesses open and running as much as possible until we can get back to those days when we saw those kids in the classroom. That almost brought a tear to my eye. Let's give a big round of applause for all of our honorees, letting them know how much we truly appreciate them in the highest esteem, in their dedication and service to our community and our great state.
Hello, I'm Lou Kennedy, and I am honored to be able to present my friend James Bennett. We are all here to celebrate this wonderful Equal Opportunity Day dinner, and the most important thing for me tonight is to be able to introduce James and celebrate his award. I'm very proud to introduce James. He's a husband, a father, and a distinguished member of the Midlands community, and he has the heart of a servant. He's a member of the Quarter of a Century Club, and he's also a 36-year veteran banker. As a banker, James has made a tremendous impact on this state. He has expanded equality of opportunity. In recognition of his impact, his peers elected him as the very first African-American chairman of the South Carolina Bankers Association. But more than a successful professional, James is a really good man. He's been a great friend to me, and we've served on countless boards together. Working together, we strive to make the Midlands a better place for every member of this community, where every voice is heard and every family has the chance to achieve their dreams. Thank you, James, for your friendship, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor. I look forward to many more years of serving beside you, with you, and our friendship. Congratulations, James Bennett. You're the best.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for your friendship. And it's amazing what you and Bill do every day for this community. And thank you for your commitment to diversity and inclusion. Nephron is the model company in our community. Good afternoon. Now I know exactly how my preacher must feel, speaking to a church full of empty pews on Sunday morning. But what an honor. What an honor to be the keynote speaker for the 53rd Equal Opportunity Day dinner. And what an honor to be the speaker for my beloved Columbia Urban League. My involvement with the Urban League goes back to the early 1980s as a student at the University of South Carolina. I will never forget, I was the president of the Association of Afro-American Students. Back then, we was fighting to increase minority enrollment, gain equitable representation in student organizations, and increase the number of black faculty and staff. I know it sounds like 2020. It's the same challenge that President Caslin and the students are facing today. My 40-year relationship with JT McLaughlin started with a phone call. I had never met JT, and he had never heard of me. I had the audacity to ask JT if he would share his keynote speaker for the Equal Opportunity Day dinner with the African American students at the university. And it wasn't just some speaker like you have today. The speaker was the president and CEO of the National Urban League, Vernon Jordan, a national leader, an icon. JT accepted my call. He made it happen. I never forgot that. My life would change forever. You never know how impressionable we as adults can be on the youth. 40 years later, I am still calling on the Urban League, and the Urban League is still answering my call. Almost as long as I've been an Urban Leaguer, I've been a banker, and I can't think of a more rewarding career than banking. Banking is more than just accepting deposits and making loans. It is about reaching the heart and soul of people and fulfilling their hopes and dreams. We have the privilege of helping people every day, from opening their first account to purchasing their first car, buying their first home, purchasing their dream home, sending the kids off to college, saving for retirement, and the list goes on. What an honor, and if you are not getting all of that from your banker, maybe, just maybe, you need a new bank. As many of you can relate, the nobility of our profession is perhaps most recently felt with the work of our bankers to help small businesses, which are the heartbeat of our economy, get loans through the SBA Paycheck Protection Program. You'll be proud that in South Carolina, your local bankers got approved over $5.7 billion in PPP for deserving small businesses. One of my initiatives as the chairman of the South Carolina Bankers Association is to strive for our workforce in banking to be reflective of the community we serve. You show me a high-performing company, and I will show you a very diverse company. Those of you who invest in the market wouldn't dare think about not having a diverse portfolio. Why? Because a diverse portfolio gives you the best opportunity for success. It gives you the best opportunity in an up market and gives you the best protection in a down market. Then why wouldn't the same rationale work for a diverse workforce? The success of high-performing companies is just as the success of a high-performing portfolio. It is because of diversity, not in spite of diversity. As a business leader in our communities throughout South Carolina, we have a responsibility to ensure that all people have the same opportunities to not only survive, but to thrive. We the people are more than a conqueror. It is time that we all be lifted up. We as bankers have a role to play in reducing racial inequalities and bringing about a more inclusive economy. The trust of our customers have in us is the greatest currency. It's a charge to keep. Now, growing up, all of us had a hero. My hero was my grandmother who raised me. And even though she is long past, she's still my hero. But like most kids, you have a superhero. Batman is my superhero. Today, I am still a Batman fan. One of my favorite scenes is when Rachel Dawes asked the question, "Who are you behind that mask?" Batman responded, "It's not who I am, but what I do that defines me." As we find ourselves in the midst of this pandemic, social justice, and economic uncertainties, who are you behind that mask, and how will you be defined? But as bad as this pandemic is, over 8 million cases and 250,000 deaths, it shined a light on social justice, diversity, inclusion, health disparities, health gap, and a greater need for broadband in rural areas. This would be a terrible crisis to waste if we didn't come out of this pandemic better as a people than we went in. Since March, we have all experienced a great display of human compassion, like never seen before. We have redefined who our heroes are. We have added to our list of first responders, nurses, tellers, grocery store clerks, bus drivers, and custodians. First time ever. We have the best opportunity to provide broadband to all of South Carolina. I had the opportunity to serve on the governor's task force, Accelerate South Carolina, to get South Carolina back to work with my fellow Urban League board member, Lou Kennedy. We have identified $100 million from the CARES Act money for rural broadband. We continue to beat the drums along with utilities and communication companies that have joined in the fight. My good friend and mentor, Jim Clyburn, who is a huge supporter of broadband, loves to tell the story about a Tennessee farmer speaking in a small rural church in the early 1940s proclaimed, "Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you this. The greatest thing on earth is to have the love of God in your heart. And the next greatest thing is to have electricity in your house." Just as the Great Depression made clear to all that electricity was the next greatest thing in the 20th century, coronavirus, the pandemic, is making it clear that broadband is the next greatest thing in the 21st century. It shouldn't have taken a pandemic for us to understand that broadband should be assembled and affordable for all South Carolinians. When the history books are written, Let's make sure that South Carolina is on the right side of history this time. Let it read that it was the worst of times, but it was also the best of times. I applaud corporate America. Corporate America has stepped up to the plate. They have put their money where their mouth is, but it doesn't stop with money. It starts with money. Locally, thank you to Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Dominion Energy, Bank of America, South State Bank, First Citizens, and Nephron, to name a few. They have directly funded historically black colleges and universities in the spirit of my alma mater. Learning humanizes character and does not permit it to be cruel. They have funded social organizations like the Columbia Urban League and small businesses in the Midlands, to include Optus Bank. Thank you. But we can't let up. We can no longer allow racism to continue to be harbored in the hearts of people we do business with, suppliers and contractors. We cannot allow racism and hatred to be harbored in the hearts of our coworkers and supervisors. It starts at the top with the right message from our leadership teams and our board of directors. We have a charge to keep. In closing, I came across the words of President Eisenhower, spoke in 1957 about Equal Opportunity Day and how we are all created equal as mentioned in the Declaration of Independence. He said, today, when our nation's strength is being tested at every point, this tradition takes on added urgency. Our nation's economy can ill afford to waste the talent and abilities of any individual because of discrimination against him on the basis of race, his color or creed, and to include gender. Every citizen who helps to make legal and economic equality a living fact is helping America. It is clear these words apply just as much today as they did back in the 50s. Again, it is what we do that defines us. Let us continue to help equal opportunity as a living fact. We've made progress, but there's much more to do. If you see a turtle on top of a fence post, just know it didn't get there by itself. Somebody had to help it. And with your help, we'll continue to move forward. Thank you for the important work that you do every day. May God bless you, and may God bless the Columbia Urban League.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett, for such a profound message and one that will certainly resonate with all of us. We are grateful for your leadership and commitment to leveling the playing field through social justice, equity, and inclusion.
A wonderful message. I hope a lot of people will share it on Facebook. I just shared it on my page, and I'm going to have to pay more attention to Batman movies. I had no idea such profound wisdom. Another man with profound wisdom, who is the leader of this wonderful organization. Please welcome Mr. J.T. McLawhorn, our president and CEO of the Columbia Urban League, to offer our closing remarks.
I just want to really express my appreciation to James Bennett in his absence. James would have been here. You know, we had to change the date. When you do something virtually, sometimes you have to be flexible. But James sent his regards. So we really miss James, but he did an outstanding job. Let's give him another hand. Yeah. When I met James 40 years ago, I had no idea that we would still be together today. So it's just wonderful. And he's very, very involved in the Urban League. I want to express my appreciation and thank you to all our honorees. I thank you for your service. I thank you for servant leadership. Let's give our honorees another hand. I also want to express our appreciation to all the technicians that came together so we could have this virtual event. I'd like to thank WLTX and his family, WIS-TV, South Carolina ETV. I want to thank you all because, I mean, I had so much anxiety. You know, how do you put this together? How do you make it work? As Bennett said, through broadband technology. So I want to thank the Urban League staff, Cheryl Humphreys, Regina LeBrie, and all the staff people because they were working day and night to try to put this puzzle together for us. I thank you so very much. I thank all of you all for being here. Your support has been really essential for us. It has stabilized us during this experimentation. So thank you again. I want to, excuse me, let you know we have lunch for you. After this program, we would like to present you lunch. We also have your awards. We'll present it after the program. I want to thank again Judy Gaston and Brandon Taylor. If the staff would join me, I do have a presentation that I want to make to Judy and Brandon. So if somebody could join me, I'm just going to show it to you, and I'm not going to present it to you. It's on the, Cheryl, it's on the other side. Okay. And I just want to let you know we appreciate this because Judy and Brandon have been working very closely with us. And we've changed a couple of times. We sent them 2 or 3 scripts for the program. And they are all very, very pleasant about it. You know, sometimes people get an attitude. And Madam Superintendent, thank you for all you do. Molly, stand up so everybody can see you. She's a great superintendent. This is an award for Brandon and Judy Gasson. I want to present to you in grateful recognition for presiding at the Columbia Urban League's 53rd Annual Fund Campaign and Equal Opportunity Day Dinner, November 17, 2020. Thank you very much. Let's give them a hand.
Thank you very much, JT, for your kind words, and I know on behalf of Brandon as well, truly our honor to be here and to support the important work of the Columbia Urban League and all that you mean to our community working in the trenches. I know social justice has moved into the spotlight for our country and our state this year, but it has always been in the spotlight for the Columbia Urban League, so we thank you for that. As we close this illustrious event, we want to thank each and every one of you for your attendance, for your unyielding support for the annual fund campaign and the Equal Opportunity Day event, especially for participating in helping us to celebrate 53 years of the Columbia Urban League's efforts toward empowering communities and changing lives. Again, thank you so very much. And Brandon, we promised we'd have that performance, right?
Yes, we're ready for it.
We are ready for Miss Tia Durant.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in the gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving toward that separating line. I'm working through morning water, I made up mine. Yeah. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to find 'cause I'm alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I try. Sure as stars fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. River, calling me to answer. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Stand up, take my people with me. I'm going to a brand new home. River, freedom calling to answer. You know, I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Certainly worth the wait. And you know what? Perfect way to end this powerful program on that high note and that call for all of us to stand up and take our people with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join us for the benediction by the Right Reverend Samuel L. Green, Sr. Thank you once again for being here to celebrate this special occasion today.
Let us pray. Dear God, we, your people, have gathered together today, although not in person, but united in common purpose, as we celebrate the legacy of the Columbia Urban League. Thank you for their years of faithful service and commitment to our community as we witness their advocacy for social change. We know, God, that we gather under some difficult times as we are on the backside of a historic presidential election in our nation. In the midst of these peculiar times, God, we know that you have seen our tears and you have heard our cry. Now we place our anxieties and fears in your hand. For we know there is power in your hand, because your hand guided the children of Israel who were suffering under Pharaoh who knew not Joseph. Your hand raised up a prophetic voice to speak truth to power, to tell Pharaoh that I am, sent me to let my people go. Your hand led them out from Egypt towards the promised land. Your hand divided the Red Sea in front of them. Your hand guided them through the wilderness for 40 years. Your hand provided manna from heaven for them. Your hand carried them over the promised land. Now, God, we ask that you keep your hand upon us one more time. As your hand was with Moses and Martin King, be with us. As your hand was with Hannah and Harriet Tubman, be with us. As your hand was with Sarah and Sojourner Truth, be with us. Be with us, God, as we navigate through the uncertainties of life. Be with us as we face the days that are ahead. Be with us as we walk together as children. Let us not get weary. For we know that when we place our hands in your hand, after every dark night is a bright tomorrow. We come now, God, asking you to keep us. Keep your hand upon us, so that we may be able to continue to stand on our feet, standing tall in your bright presence, fresh with a celebration of victory. We come today, God, recognizing that you are our one God, our only Savior. We ask all of this through Jesus Christ, our Master. Be glory, majesty, strength, and rule before all times. And now, God. And now, God. And now, be with us to the end of all time. This we pray. Amen.